the wheel of a 2025 Sierra HD starting at just $51,130. And with truckloads of new 2026 models arriving daily, there's never been a better time to trade up. Shop online anytime at spearfishmotors.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in South Dakota so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Has a fracture at his left wrist, but he has not been ruled out of their Week 12 matchup in Chicago against the Bears. Head coach Mike Tomlin said they'll make a determination later on in the week. He is not expected to practice on Wednesday, is Rodgers. The Houston Texans did rule out quarterback C.J. Stroud for Thursday's game against the Bills as he remains in concussion protocol. Reports out of Houston say that Stroud is on track to start Week 13. Authorities in Ohio say $200,000 worth of property was stolen from the home of Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders on Sunday as he was making his season debut against the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL reinstated wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. from a 6-game ban for violating the NFL's policy on performance-enhancing drugs. OBJ is currently a free agent. LeBron James remains questionable to make his season debut tonight against the Jazz. Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo out 1 to 2 weeks because of a left groin strain. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host,
All right, welcome in. We're back and ready. Tuesday edition of the program. Welcome in. How are you? The Nate Brown Show is live on Fox Sports Radio. We call it South Dakota Sports Talk Show from Sioux Falls to Rapid City. We got you covered. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Say it with me. Hope you are having a great day. Thanks for checking in. You guys make the show possible, so we appreciate it. From high school to college to the pros, let's see what we got. Good guest lineup tonight. I really like it. Let's get after it. Pat Rummell's going to join us tonight. Great high school football coach in South Dakota. He's the head coach at Howard. They went down to Wall in that 9A championship. That was a big-time Wall team. We talked to their head coach yesterday. So I want to talk to Pat Rummell not only about nine-man football, his program, but he's on the football advisory committee. He's the nine-man football rep on the football advisory committee. So interesting discussion going on with high school football classifications and the nine-man ranks. I want to get to that. Pat Rummell's coming up. Great coach. He's from Howard. We'll go to the St. Thomas More head coach tonight. Going to join us live. Austin Hagen is on tonight. St. Thomas More head football coach, and the Cavaliers win their first ever state football championship. Austin Hagen is in. They beat Elk Point Jefferson 48-38. That was a great game at 11B. First loss for Elk Point Jefferson this season. Also, national-wise, let's go to Frank Schwab. He's live from Denver, national NFL writer for Yahoo Sports. Going to pop on tonight. And Brian Noe in on a Tuesday. Brian Noe still giving me trash about my Denver Broncos. He texted me today. I'm gonna come at him today. I'm not playing nice with my man Brian Noe anymore. Fox Sports Radio's national host of Countdown to Kickoff. He called my guy Hobo Nicks. I was looking for jerseys down in Denver this weekend that said Hobo Nicks. I couldn't find them, Brian, so Brian Noe's in tonight. NFL Countdown to Kickoff host on Fox Sports Radio, and he's on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Great guest lineup. The Nate Brown Show, not only here on Fox Sports Radio, I do remind you, stream us live a few different places. You can catch us on your phone. If you have a Twitter account, follow the show at Nate Brown Show, and then you can watch us live. Follow us at Nate Brown Show. Watch this show live. Welcome in studio. Also, the YouTube channel is easy. Go on YouTube, search The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel, and we're live right now on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. And then Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports streaming app covering football and basketball this high school sports season. Midwest Sports Plus launched the Nate Brown Show a couple of months ago, and we're live right now on the new high school sports app. Get it if you don't have it. Midwest Sports Plus. Let's get you on the show tonight. If you want in, we'll do our best. Have a little conversation, thought-provoking sports talk from South Dakota. Let's get you on. 605-720-1067. Lock that number in on your line. 605-720-1067. That's the Pizza Ranch studio hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. They are at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, also in Brandon. 2 locations you want to stop by, really, really good. And 2 locations in Rapid City. That's your Pizza Ranch, locally owned and operated, home of everyone's favorite buffet. One more way you can be a part of the show on the text line. Text the show. We'll read those, get them out of the air. 605-720-1067. We make it easy. Same number there. We call it the Barron's Wilson listener text line for you. 605-720-1067. All right. So let's have this high school football discussion and see where people land and see if I can be reasonable. This football classification discussion happens every year. I've been doing this show for quite some time. I've been in South Dakota a long time. Done a sports talk show in Montana as well, and we talked a lot of high school sports there. Each state's different. Each state has different population centers and different geography, different schools. You know, you look at the size and the male enrollment and all that, the systems. I've talked about our system, and I think our system's flawed. So that's not the discussion I'm going to have today. But is there even a discussion that you can continue today in South Dakota high school football when it comes to changing the classes? Is there a discussion at all? That's all I want to. That's what I want to ask. Is there a discussion at all about changing the classifications anymore? Because we've been down this road. We've been down the road. Hey, too many classes. I got it. I mean, I got the memo. Too many classes. I understand. We have 7 classes and then 2 all nations. So, really, 2 divisions of all nations. So you've got 9 football classes in South Dakota. 9 football classes. So there's always people that push this time of year. They look at like the 9-man games at the Dome this past week, and they say, look at those blowouts. We have too many classes. And believe me, I've been around here doing this. That's happened in 11-man, too. Like Pierre, what did I count up? They've been in 11 out of 13 AA title games. I think that was the stat. I'll make sure Matt Kearney gets me correct on that. We were looking up, like Pierre in 11 AA since that has come online. Pierre has been in 11 out of 13 championships, and they've won like all of them, almost all of them. But they've been in the game like almost every year. So they say, well, too many classes. Okay, so I asked this question yesterday on the show. Is the blowouts in 9-man football proof that there's too many classes in 9-man? So the games were blowouts, all the state championships. So I just wanted to see what people said. Do you think, if you had 2 9-man classes, it would have been better competition? You want to see with 2 classes, you get the better teams. The last 2 that are left, going to be pretty good, you would think, right? So I'm reasonable with you. I understand that. So I just threw it out to the audience on the Nate Brown Show yesterday. The state championship blowouts in 9-man football, is that the result of having too many classes, the 3 classes? Let's see the final vote here. We got a lot of votes on this yesterday. And the final vote from the South Dakota sports fans that follow the show, 75% say yes, there are too many 9-man football classes. That's why you had blowouts. 25% say no, just relax. It's 1 year. Blowouts happen. 75-25. And this is, again, the thing I hear as you talk about South Dakota high school football over and over, too many classes. And so I knew this was going to be an easy one. This was, a layup. 75-25 in the audience, too many 9-man classes. Okay, let's take that logic here. Let's take that. And let me ask you this. Maybe you're a 9-man football person. Maybe you're a big city person, whatever you're at. Maybe you have a history of both. So if you were to say, hey, we have too many classes, so look at 9-man's a perfect example. Let's go to 2 classes in 9-man. Do you think there has to be an elimination of an 11-man class as well? So I want to ask, because I wasn't the only one talking about and seeing the discussion online after the 9-man championships is, oh, they're all blowouts. This is, too many classes. It wouldn't happen if it was like, okay, so do you have to eliminate an 11-man class? That's what I want to know. If you eliminate a 9-man, do you believe you would have to eliminate an 11-man to be fair? I'd like to see what you think on that question of the day tonight. Thanks for getting in tonight. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hi, it's Mike in Sioux Falls. Hey, my son played 9-man football this year for Sioux Falls Lutheran, and they had their first trip to the playoffs. And having watched and followed 9-man for the longest time, the biggest difference was each of the championship teams had an extra 50 pounds or an extra 6 inches across the line. Those 3 big kids that made the difference with that 1 or 2 athlete. As far as 11-man goes, what I have a problem with there is 11 AAA is the Metro Conference Championship with the addition of Harrisburg and Brandon Valley. You have the 11 AA is an ESD championship tournament, and it's not until you get to the 11 A and B games that you really see the real competitive nature come across.
What would you do an 11-man then, Mike? Would you eliminate an 11-man class?
Yes, I'd go back to 11. I'd go back to
3
11,
classes. Okay.
3 classes, and let the ESD and the O'Gorman, everybody forgets, plays up. They're in the bottom of the 11 AAA, if not 11 AA, as far as average daily enrollment goes.
Right. But they play.
But if you go back to the days of O'Gorman, Yankton in the 80s and 90s,
yes.
It was always competitive, and that was before Sioux Falls had a competitive team.
Would you eliminate a 9-man class then? You're a 9-man guy. Would you eliminate a 9-man as well?
I'd have a hard time doing it.
Okay. All right, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for getting in. Appreciate his perspective. And that's what I want to hear here. People yell about too many classes, and here's what happens, though. The 9-man schools are going to protect each other. The 9-man ADs are going to protect their schools and their communities. And by the way, I've got a little news here. That's not a surprise. So this is how things change is you got to vote. The ADs have to vote on it. And then it goes to the board of directors and they evaluate, what should we do here? So the 9-man ADs, there's a lot of them. They're not going to vote to eliminate a 9-man class, I don't believe, unless I think if you got an 11-man class eliminated as well. I believe that's the game. That's the story. Those are the politics, I think, in South Dakota high school football when it comes to, hey, we're a 9-man school. They tell the 11-man people, leave us alone here. Why do we have to be considered in your mess of 11 AAA and AA and the whole thing? They do have a point a little bit, because here's what I'm going to tell you. Everybody's so 75% of my audience yesterday voted, yes, there's too many 9-man classes. Those blowouts in the championships prove that. I just wanted to throw that out there. I didn't know how heavy it would be. 75% say too many 9-man classes. Now, by the way, if I ask that question about 11-man, which we have, by the way, we've been there, it's a ton of people as well. So the moral of the story, there's a ton of people that think there's too many classes across South Dakota high school football, but the administrators and the schools say, well, I'm not going to be the one that blows this up. I'm not going to be the one that puts Pierre back in playing Roosevelt and Harrisburg and Brandon Valley. I mean, they don't want to do that. So, and then the 9-man, they say, well, just eliminate one class and make one 6-man. You know, there's schools that are barely surviving with their football programs. So maybe make some of the smallest 9B schools 6-man. But here's the argument from 9-man. You know how many teams play in each level of 9-man? Like, you're like, oh, there's just so many schools. You got to have 3. You got to have 3 classes. Here's it. 9AA has 23 teams. 9A had 22 teams. And 9B had 22 teams this year. You're going to say, oh, is that enough? Oh, hang on a second. Those classes are as big and bigger than every 11-man class out there. Are you following me? So everybody's telling 9-man to eliminate a class. They have more teams in their class, each class, than all of the 11-man teams. All the divisions. The biggest 11-man division is 11B, 23 teams. So why are we yelling at 9-man to eliminate a class? Hey, eliminate a division. They have more teams. 11A has 14 teams. 11AA has 11 teams. The discussion has to be both 11-man and 9-man. If you're going to eliminate divisions, they both have to do it. Thanks for calling today. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Dawn, DAWN in Sioux Falls. I followed football since the 1970s, high school football, so that gives you an idea what my age is.
Okay.
I remember when it used to be 2 classes, Class A, Class B.
Yes.
Everybody fought for it. People were whining the way they are now because they didn't think the best schools were getting in. And then they went through what they called a school census, where you took how many kids were in the school. And then they did like a 5 to 10 year census, like you do like a statewide census for the U.S. Census.
Okay.
And some people got bellyaches about that, and then they said, okay, let's do it year by year. And then people were saying, do you have the money to do that? Because the census costs money.
Sure. Your point is, are there too many classes? I don't know. We're never going to go back to 2, Don. I know that.
I know we're not, but some people wish we would because that's how old-fashioned they are.
Yeah. No, I get it. Thanks for getting in. I appreciate you. Thanks for calling.
Okay, I like the classes the way they are, but I was saying, there are some people that wish we could go back doing it year to year.
Yeah. No, I get that. Okay, you like the classes. All right. Appreciate you, Don. Thanks for getting in. Okay, so let me ask you this. And then we'll get cranking tonight. More discussion on this. I'll go to the text line here if I can and read some text. If one 9-man class is eliminated, that's what people voted for yesterday on this show. That's 75 to 25. Yes, eliminate a 9-man class. Well, then that has to come with provision that an 11-man class gets eliminated. And what I'm telling you is, in the world of South Dakota high school sports politics, The 9-man teams are not going to vote to eliminate a class and then say, hey, 11-man, you get to have all the fun. Go ahead and have 11 teams in AA. It's the glorified ESD. Remember, they broke it off. So 9-man's not going to say, yeah, we'll make it harder for our school to get to the Dome, and then we'll allow 11A to have 14 teams, and 11AA to have 11 teams, AAA to have 9 teams. They aren't going to do that. So how much do you want to negotiate here? Just a little negotiation. You got to give a little. Would you eliminate an 11-man class? I believe that's the only way you're ever going to cut down any classifications at all. You're not going to win on, let's get rid of a 9-man class. That'll be good. You better get rid of an 11-man class as well. And I hate to tell you, let's see, where's the wall? Am I close enough to a wall in here? You bang your head against the wall. See if that is the same conversation you have. Okay, it kind of feels the same. Bang! Kind of feels the same. It's like nobody wants to change anything. So they all just say, well, 9-man, you change. Then they say, no, don't touch us. The 11-man thinks they're so cool. You know, why don't you do something? And then I'm over in the corner banging my head. It's good stuff, actually. Let's see. 62% of you say that would be the compromise. You'd have to eliminate an 11-man as well. 62% say yes, eliminate a 9, and you have to eliminate an 11. 38% say no, you could leave 11-man as is. Lot to get to tonight. Lot to get to. My point is, 9-man, I'm sticking up for 9-man. They got 3 classes. I get it. They have more teams in their classes than the 11-man teams do. So why are we targeting 9-man? Hey, you guys do this first. No, we have more teams in our divisions than you do. And an 11-man say, well, anyway. And they try and play that game. Can't play it. If 9-man goes down a class, 11-man has to. That's the only compromise you'd have. And I don't know if we're going to have it. Frank Schwab's going to start us off tonight. Our first guest, NFL national writer from Yahoo Sports, coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Hey, it's Nate Brown for Atomic Wings, 2 locations in Sioux Falls. You don't need to keep going to the mediocre wing places with too much breading and wings that don't have any meat. Atomic Wings is different. I know firsthand. Their boneless wings are made with fresh chicken right there. The best wings I've had. 15 unique flavors to choose from sweet to heat. Huge traditional wings, fresh boneless wings for game day, lunch, or dinner. 2 locations in Sioux Falls. Just order at atomicwings.com. Atomicwings.com.
Shop the best deals of the season at Splash City and create the ultimate game night all year round. Challenge family and friends with the smooth glide of a shuffleboard puck gliding across the table. Or reign champion with a Brunswick pool table. With free local delivery and setup and either 0% financing or a free gift, you only have until Christmas Eve to stop into your local Splash City to learn more about these amazing deals.
Visit Splash City in Sioux Falls, Rapid City, or Sioux City. It's time to make a splash. You've earned it.
It's time for Happy Honda Days at Danny Menno Rushmore Honda. Shop the area's best selection of pre-owned Hondas and Honda Certified Pre-Owned. Get financing as low as 1.99% APR on certified pre-owned CRVs, HRVs, and other select models. 1.99. Plus, shop a lot full of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, including 4x4s and all-wheel drives, imports, and domestics. See us at Danny Menno Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Length of finance contract is limited. With qualified credit, expires 1/2/26.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy with fog early, tonight with a low of 39. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. A blend of clouds and sun tomorrow, high of 58. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, lows around 33. Mainly sunny skies and dry Thursday and Friday, low 50s Thursday, upper 50s by Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 45.
Get unmatched selection at the best prices this holiday season from your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include all flavors of Bailey's Irish Cream, $29.49 for a $7.50. Save $4 on Juggernaut red wines, now only $15.99. Or get a $7 savings on your next bottle of Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, now just $23.99. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores, off Cadron Boulevard next to Walmart, or on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
From everyone here at Fox Sports Rapid City, we'd like to congratulate the St. Thomas More Cavaliers on their first ever 11B State Football Championship. St. Thomas More went undefeated and put West River on the map. And we'd like to congratulate the unbeaten Wall Eagles on a dominant 9A state football title. This is your home for the best live coverage of high school sports, featuring the two state champions, the St. Thomas More Cavaliers and the Wall Eagles.
At Connect Home Center, they've been a part of the Mead Lumber family since 2000. Now, they're bringing everything together under one trusted name, Mead Lumber. Don't worry, your favorite team, great service, and high-quality products aren't going anywhere. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name. From design to finish, here for you every step of the way. Check them out at meadlumber.com.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live. We're back on a Tuesday, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. Appreciate you making us part of your day. I really do. You guys make the show possible. We appreciate that. Fox Sports Radio affiliates across the state. We're live on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, also Fox Sports Rapid City. Packed lineup tonight. Pat Rummel's coming up. He's the Howard head football coach. They're going to talk some 9-man. There's a lot of discussion here on the text line, too. We're going to get to some of that. Pat Rummel's at Howard. He's part of the Football Advisory Committee. These are the folks that look at all the proposals, changes, should we tweak stuff, and Pat Rummel from Howard's coming up. Austin Hagen's on tonight. He's the St. Thomas More head football coach, and the Cavaliers win their first state title ever in football. They beat Elk Point Jefferson by 10 Friday. Austin Hagen, head coach for the Cavaliers, on tonight. Frank Schwab's going to join us later. Frank Schwab's coming up, so national NFL writer for Yahoo Sports. We're going to get to Frank straight ahead. Brian Noe is in on a Tuesday, so we're packed tonight. I'm going to do the old best 5 AFC teams right now. I've got my top 5 AFC teams. Who am I going to throw into the mix? By the way, I'll ask you who you think's the best in the AFC as well. We got a high school football question of the day with this 9-man and 11-man situation. And I do have a question of the day for you as well. Give me your best team in the AFC right now. Your best team in the AFC right now. You put that in on the text line, and I'm going to get you, just for answering the question of the day, we're going to set this up, a free buffet at our partners at the Pizza Ranch. So how about we start doing that? Little question of the day, love, from the Nate Brown Show. So best team in the AFC, that's our second question of the day as you get going on this Tuesday. I hope you're having a good drive home wherever you're at tonight. On the text line, 605-720-1067. Question of the day to win a free buffet. We'll serve you up with a buffet at the Pizza Ranch. I like it. Best team in the AFC right now. That's what I'd like to know from you. Okay, let's go to some answers in the 9-man football discussion. So I am convinced, as I started the show with this, people love picking on one class or the other. We say it's 9-man's fault we have too many classes. We say it's 11-man's fault we have too many classes. And so it just goes back and forth. The 9-man people are going to protect, hey, we got 22, 23 teams. The 11-man, there's really nothing they can say. They only got 11 teams. They only got 9 teams. They only got 14 teams. But they say, well, we got such a big gap in enrollment. We can't put these teams together in the same divisions. You can't have Aberdeen Central playing Sioux Falls Lincoln, can you? No, you can't. We found that out. So they say we can't do that. And so we're trying to come up what would be the compromise to get this done. So if a 9-man football class were eliminated, you got enough 9-man people to say, okay, we'd go to 2 classes. You would have to have a provision that there was an 11-man eliminated. I just think that's the reality of the situation. 9-man's going to stick up for 9-man, 11-man, same story. So you got to go 1 elimination in each division. That's my take on it. What's yours? Let's see. Lister text coming in. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go the other way. Add a class for some private schools. Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, come on. You almost... I'm not even driving. I almost swerved off the road. You almost lost me right there. Let's see. Lister text, get rid of AAA and 11-man. Quit whining. I love some of these. Lister text, Nate, look at the semifinal games in 9-man. There were only a couple of blowouts. The other games were very close. So he's making his argument saying, hey, don't get caught up in the Dome Championship blowouts saying that, 9-man's too watered down, and so that's why you had blowouts. So he's saying the semifinals were not bad. Lister text coming in, blow up 11 AA. Get rid of it. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna see what you would do there. The combo would have to be some sort of, if you got an 11-man class eliminated, I'm just looking at it, you'd have to do some combination of some 11A schools into B, and then the bigger 11A into AA. Okay, I mean, there's got to be some combo there. So you'd end up with like Douglas. Some of these teams in AA, they would be 11A for sure, right? So they would be 11A. So you'd have the Sturgises and the Spearfishes and the Douglases. They would be 11A if you got rid of an 11-man class. That would be fine. That would work out fine. I mean, it really would. So there's some schools you can move around. It wouldn't be a huge thing. But the people that would really get upset, the Watertowns, the Piers, the Aberdeens, you put them in the big school class again, you got big problems. I just know that. I know that. You put those teams, Watertown, Aberdeen, Pier, for example, in the big school class, you got problems. So I don't know if you're ever going to get enough people on board to say, yeah, let's change it. And by the way, I asked here in the audience, we were talking about this. Who really wants to change this the most? Is it the media? The big bad media mob of South Dakota? You got a lot of media members that think they're coaches, they think they're ADs, they think they run the show, right? But who really wants to change the football classifications? Media? Fans like you? Do fans really want to change it? Because I can't think of anybody else that I hear from. It's like, hey, we really need to change this, because I talk to coaches, I talk to ADs and stuff. It seems like nobody's really that upset about the 7 classes, and then All Nations has theirs, right? They got 2 divisions in All Nations. People have been happy about that. So I don't know if there's enough playmakers, meaning the people that really make the decisions, that want to change the classes. It's a big buzz every year. Too many classes, blowouts, too many classes. And it's usually fans. I do think, I hear from fans and I see it, they think there's too many. A lot of you guys say, I know that. But then it's just the fans and the media going back and forth, and then I don't ever hear a coach. I haven't ever had like a coach on the show that said, we've got to change this. I'm serious. I interview a bunch of coaches, 9-man, 11-man. Nobody has said, we got to change this. From Sioux Falls to Pier to Harding County. Now, Six-man football is another discussion, and that's worth looking at for small communities that are losing the pride of football program and their school. There is a six-man deal there, like Montana has, Wyoming has it, so some surrounding states, and that's something to look at. But as far as changing the other classes, I think it's a tough road. Listener text, let's see, drop one class in 9-man, drop 11B. So that was his idea, was drop one class in 9-man and then drop 11B. So you'd put 11B teams in with A. So then you'd have, what? Elk Point Jefferson having to play Sioux Falls Christian? Good luck with that, Jerry. They ain't going to be too happy about that. Let's see. A couple more, and I'll get to Pat Rummel. He's in Howard. He's on the Football Advisory Committee. I'm going to talk to him about what is this discussion all about. Listener text, have Sioux Falls go back to the conference with Sioux City. Eliminate AAA and AA games. That would help reclassify Rapid City to AA to build their program. Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting one. You might hear more on that down the road. Not Sioux Falls going back with Sioux City, but you might hear more. We'll see. Listener text coming in. One more. Let's have Sioux Falls Christian play St. Mary's and see what people think. Whoa. Hang on a second. What is it with the Sioux Falls Christian comparison? Last one. South Dakota would be better served having the same number of classes as North Dakota, this listener says. North Dakota has 3 11-man, 1 9-man, 1 6-man. Boy, would you ever go for 1 9-man class? No way. No way. But I had Jason Andera on the record yesterday. Jason Andera joins the show every Monday. Jandy from SDPB Sports. I said, would you go to 2 9-man classes? Jason Andera said, I'd go to 1. I'm just trying to, just small steps, Jason. We're not going to go from 3 classes to 1. We might be able to get to 2, but you got to eliminate an 11-man class as well. One more. Bye-bye 11AA. Bye-bye 9A. Move half up, half down. That's from Jake. Bye-bye 11AA. Bye-bye 9A. All right. Good stuff from you guys. If you want a shot at a free buffet from our partners at the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, location in Brandon, 2 locations in Rapid City. Free buffet from the Pizza Ranch. Our question of the day at NFL Hitter. You tell me. I'm going to tell you too, but you tell me who's the best team in the AFC right now. 605-720-1067. On the text line, we'll pull a winner out for a free buffet at your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Best team in the AFC. We come back with a guy who knows 9-man football. Pat Rummel, Howard head football coach, coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Keep your cash and spend out. Our Black Friday sale is back. Get 20% off our clean replacement windows and ensemble entry doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. You 27. As a gift, callers is our gift to you. Hurry free. Only here till December 13th. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Best in the Black Hills. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection, and brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha. And remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great
From Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
We are live across the state on Fox Sports Radio. Appreciate our affiliates. Appreciate you checking in with us each day as our listeners. Thanks for making us part of it. Appreciate it. The Nate Brown Show is on. It's South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We're powered by Black Hills Federal Credit Union. 18 locations from the Black Hills to Sioux Falls. It's my family's banking partner. You should know that. The real deal. Right choice for us to switch. I mean, they have just really good service, really good loans, whether it's personal or business. Black Hills Federal Credit Union, that's the place. Get started. Become a member first. Check out all the benefits. Start at bhfcu.com. Like, oh, it's a pain to switch. No, it's easy. Easy. bhfcu.com. They'll make it happen, okay? Let's go to Pat Rummel. He's on tonight. Great coach. Watched him take on Wall. Tough game. Wall was a beast. Howard, head football coach. Pat Rummel on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio tonight. Coach, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate it. I want to talk some football with you. First, I'll start with your club. You guys seem like you just get back to the Dome. Looks so easy. You were the 7th seed. Took some losses and then made a run here. What made it happen?
I don't know. After we lost the first game of the year, we had so many young guys from last year's team. We lost 9 seniors last year, 9 the year before, and so we were really young this year, just had 5 seniors on the team. We lost our first game of the year at Alcester, and the guys kind of made a decision there that we had to get a whole lot better, and they had to start listening a little bit more and learning and understanding that just putting the Howard uniform on isn't enough to get you wins. You got to play a little better than we did. And so we just took the kids week by week and, taught them a few things here and there, and we pretty picked out 2 things per week to get better at, and those guys did a great job of it. And, as we got towards the end of the year, we were playing pretty good football. But, we lost to 2 really good teams this year in the regular season with Alcester and Viborg. But we learned from those, and I think we got better. And then the run through the playoffs, that was just a lot of grit.
I looked at it. I said, I thought you did a great coaching job. I think you surprised some people. When it comes to Howard football, you said, well, you put on the uniform, it means a lot, but you still got to play. But how is this program really built there? How have you built this up?
When I first got here, the weight room has been so important in getting guys to buy into that. I mean, as you know from other great programs around the state, but getting everybody here in the summer in 7-on-7s, getting them here for camp, and I've had a lot of support from our school too. They bought into the fact that we basically, our school takes care of our weight room guys. They pay them, and they work at 6:30 to 8 every morning, 4 days a week in the summer, and then we're allowed to take a bus to all of our camps and take all the kids, and then our booster club, our football club, pays for that, and so our kids go to camp for free all summer long. 2 or 3 of them that we go to, and then we just get together once every a week for 7-on-7, and I think it just helps us just understand that every year is going to be the same stuff, different kids, and we just hard work and practice like everybody else will tell you. But our big thing is we run the football. We usually don't turn it over, and we play good defense. And unfortunately, last week against Wall, we didn't show any of those, but they had a lot to do with that.
Well, I'm going to ask you about Wall. I talked to Lex Heathershaw last night, and he's seen some good teams there. Wall has a proud tradition as well, West River. It's really a great program. This Wall team looked fast, big. Their running back, they were big up front. That was just a tough matchup. How'd you see it?
100%. We knew we were going to have a hard time staying with them. Our big, object in the game, we're getting first downs, keeping ball control, and we couldn't do any of that. And, of course, it hurt, losing our best player, Colt Becker, and second play of the game, his shoulder went out. He had some shoulder problems in the playoffs a little bit. I think he was gutting it out, but it finally was too much. So we didn't have him on defense the rest of the day, and then we didn't have him to run the ball too much. But it wasn't going to matter after we saw the matchup. And, we saw Wall on film, but the teams they were playing maybe were a little inferior. But I've been around enough to know that when you're that big and you're that fast and old, they had 11 seniors, 11 juniors, and the big thing about Wall this year is I think the motivation factor. They got beat last year in the semis, and I haven't talked to Lex afterwards too much, but I could see the guys came with a purpose, and they played like it all year. And they were by far the best team in 9A. The rest of 9A, to be honest with you, was pretty evenly matched. Everybody was pretty close to each other, but they were way above that, and it's hard to imagine them playing 9A football. You usually see that. We were up in 9AA for a few years here and there.
Yeah.
And those are the 9AA type teams, just big, solid, and really fast. So it was definitely an education for our kids, but they played tremendous, and they were much better than us. But we did not play well. I went and watched the film. I waited till Sunday, and we didn't align correctly on some things, and we didn't play very well. And then when you can't get your running game going, and then you turn it over 2 or 3 times in your own area, not good. But they deserved to win. They were much better than pretty much all of 9A this year.
Yeah, it was something. It was a team to watch. Howard had a great run. Pat Rummel's on tonight. He's the head coach at Howard. A great program. You played 9AA title games. You played 9A. I wanted to ask you, I asked Lex Heathershaw this. You said you seemed like there's a difference between 9AA and 9A. You think there's a difference?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Those extra kids bring you extra depth. And usually with that depth, you get some athletes that are bigger, and fill in areas at the D tackles, the D linemen, your O linemen, and then you got guys that seem to get a little more speed, have a little more speed in 9AA than 9A. Not always, but the bigger guys seem to take the effect. And with Wall, even when they brought in some guys off the bench a little bit to come in or whatever, those are juniors and some seniors. So they had a lot of depth because they have a lot of upperclassmen. So I told somebody in pregame beforehand, they're big, they're fast, and they're old. and then when you throw in the motivational factor with that of losing last year, I just think that nobody was going to beat them. And somebody asked me how they would do against Freeman Academy Marion. I have no idea. We didn't play them. I just saw them on film a little bit, and they were strong and fast and really, really athletic. So, that might have been a good one. But, when we just play who's in our class and we just go up against them. But there are times it was men against boys because I have a lot of sophomores and juniors out there playing. And we were a little light this year. This isn't your normal Howard team. We had a lot of 140, 160 pounders. We're usually a little bigger than that, but again, those guys are sophomores and a few juniors in there. It was a tough matchup for anyone. And for Howard to lose like that, that's the one thing that I've had a little bit of problem with over the weekend. Is if we lose a game, it's single digits. It could be 20 if it gets out of hand. But we haven't been beat like that maybe ever. So it's one of those things where our kids will, we have a meeting tomorrow and we'll discuss that. But I asked them at halftime to keep playing hard and keep playing how we know how to, and I think they did that. It's just that we were running out of guys and we turned it over in our own territory and gave them a short field, and so them putting up that many points, that was tough to swallow a little bit, but.
That's why you didn't. That's why you didn't watch it till Sunday. I have a feeling that.
Because I knew we misaligned on some plays, and they had a 3-by-1 a few times, and we only had 2 over there, and I don't know what we were doing, but I had some sophomores out there playing at safety when Becker, he's ordinarily out there at a shutdown corner or a safety, and he wasn't on the field, and that hurt us too. So it was a mixture of things, but again. Wall had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, great team in Wallace. Had a really, really good team. Howard had a nice run. Pat Rummel's on tonight, head coach at Howard. Hey, Coach, you're on the football advisory committee. You've been the 9-man rep. And so I want to get at a couple of things here before I let you run. I want to know, there's always people after the championships, they say, well, look at this game, and that game was a blowout, or this game was a blowout. They looked at 9-man, and I saw people say, oh, the 9-man classes, there were blowouts in the championships. That means it's too watered down. You've had these discussions. 9-man football, is 3 classes the way to go?
Well, I have to be careful how I answer that, but I think they added a class 11-man for the teams in the middle, the 11 AA. And then we've had 3 classes with about 22 or 23 teams in each class of 9-man. You probably could put that to 2, but if you do that, in my opinion, then, and a lot of the coaches think the same, then you got to probably have a 6-man for those really, really low teams that have 15 guys out for football.
Okay.
So, I don't know whether, 3 classes is okay, but there's a couple things that I would love to do differently, and I tried to get this in, and I got shot down. But I think that do you need 16 teams make the playoffs?
Okay.
I don't think 16, 15, 14, and 13 want to go play that last game and just travel across the state and just get 50. I don't know that. I tried to put in 1 through 12, top 4 get a bye. And then that way, your 5 through 12, 5-12 matchups going to be good. Those are going to be good games. I just think maybe we water it down with letting in 16 teams out of 23 get in the playoffs.
Sure.
I think you could help that out by maybe getting 12. And, and we've discussed it. It's been up there. And you got the 15 and 16 seeds going, hey, we just wanted to make the playoffs. Well, and maybe they did, and that's okay. We're kind of on a different level when it comes to what our goals are each year. But some teams making the playoffs is important, but I don't know if you ask the coaches whether they want to play that game or not.
Do you want to bring that up again? Are you going to bring that up again? Because there was discussion again about that statewide. I saw some ADs say, hey, I'd support going to 12. Some people said to 8.
Oh, yeah, and 8 is tough, but here's why, is because you might have a 7-1 team or a 6-2 team left out. And I only say that because you're at the mercy of the state of South Dakota to make your schedule, and you might play a bunch of teams that don't have very good records, and you get left out at 7-1. And that happened a long time ago when they had it, and I think that's the reason why 8 maybe is a little iffy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'll certainly bring it up. I'm bringing it up a lot of different things. We're going to discuss, again, getting playoff games putting on Friday nights from all the way through, no more Thursday nights. We're going to discuss power points, getting points for teams that, win on your schedule. If they win 5 games, you don't get points for that. You only get 4. So, meaning the 3, the 5, and the 7 are odd numbers, and so you don't get points for those. You don't understand what I'm talking about there?
Sure. Yep.
So to make it fair, they're going to give all your teams you play, you're going to get power points for all those wins that they have. And that way, you notice this year there was a bunch of ties, and it ended up being a mess in 9AA if you didn't know that. So this would eliminate that, and I think it would even out the power points a little bit. So we're going to bring that up, and there's a mixture of things. There's a thing out there called the success factor, where they want to, if you have so many wins and be in the Dome for so many years in a row and semifinals, you could have to move. It might make you move up a class, and I'm definitely not about that.
Okay. What about teams that don't win? What about teams that don't win? No wins in 3 years, being able to move down. Would there be support for that?
I think that's, to be honest with you, and I was talking with Dr. Swartos and Randy Soma, I think that's what they're trying to do more so than move people up. I think they're trying to give some of these kids from some of these programs a chance to play in a group where they can have some success. And I would be for that, but remember, when you change at the bottom, you're also changing at the top.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be moving some down to a different class, which means moves others up. There's a lot of stuff to discuss. I know we have a December board meeting, Zoom meeting with all the big boys on it, and I get to sit in on that and listen more so than anything. But we talk about everything, and a lot of these things are coming up, and it's really good discussion. But a lot of these things we talk about, sometimes we never pull the trigger on them. But I think there's some of these things that we can definitely get going on. I don't think anybody wants to travel across the state of South Dakota on a Thursday night and get home at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And for school, you reckon 2 days, not 1.
No, I'm with you.
You reckon Thursday and Friday, too, because those kids are getting home at 4:30. They're either not coming to school or they're coming late. And maybe on Thursday you left at, 7, 8 in the morning just to get out there. So I think if we can get those just moved to Fridays, I know it's going to be an interference with state cross country and also the all-state choir and band and stuff, and orchestra or whatever. I think they'll just leave those where they're at, and kids will just have to make a decision. But going forward, Dr. Swartos, he's doing his best out there to try to, get some of these things going. But the one thing is, you're never going to make everybody happy, and you know that in life. But I think if we make these decisions, what's best for kids and what's best for South Dakota football, some of these things have to get done.
We're going to keep an eye on this. I think you guys do some good work. I've talked a lot about what you just mentioned, success factor. Some teams have really had struggles, and I think could build up a program if they could move down. And we'll see where this all goes. Pat Rumley's on the advisory committee for football. He's the Howard head football coach. Made another run to the state championship and ran into a buzzsaw there in Wall. Coach, it's good to have you on. We'll talk again. Thanks a lot.
You bet. Thank you very much for having me.
I appreciate it. Pat Rummel, Howard head football coach on the Nate Brown Show tonight on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Good discussion with him. We'll try and do that again. Stay plugged in on some of the football discussions coming up. Meetings straight ahead. Coming right back with Frank Schwab. We'll jump to the NFL. YahooSports.com, national writer. NFL season over halfway over. Frank Schwab coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Does your home have a crawl space? When cold weather arrives, that can mean cold floors, frozen pipes, and higher energy bills. Protect your family and keep the cold air out this winter with Expert Crawl Space Sealing by Blackburn Basement Systems. Sealing keeps your crawl space clean, protects pipes, and insulates your home, so floors are warmer and energy bills are lower. A sealed crawl space means a nicer home. Don't wait. Call Blackburn Basement Systems today.
Out here, we have a deeper connection to the land, a stronger connection to our neighbors, standing on our own 2 feet while also working together. The power to do more connects us all. At member-owned West River Electric Association, it's all of us working together to make today and tomorrow better. This is Co-op Country.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy with fog early, tonight with a low of 39. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. A blend of clouds and sun, tomorrow high of 58. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, lows around 33. Mainly sunny skies and dry Thursday and Friday, low 50s, Thursday, upper 50s by Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 45.
What makes a credit union different from a bank? At Highmark Credit Union, it starts with you. We're member-owned, not shareholder-driven. That means our earnings go back to you through better rates, lower fees, and personal service. Unlike big banks, we put people first. You're not just an account number, you're part of a community. Highmark Credit Union. Local, personal, and here for you. We'll make it happen. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker, Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Kickoff just got bigger. Murphy's Pub and Grill is back with NFL Sunday Ticket. That means every game, every team, every Sunday. Right here at your favorite bar. Cheer loud, eat big, and score with Murphy's game day specials on food and drinks. The atmosphere, electric. The staff, legendary. The screens, everywhere. This season, don't just watch football. Experience it. NFL Sunday Ticket is back, baby. Murphy's Pub and Grill, your new football headquarters. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here. Some interesting discussions tonight. Appreciate Pat Rummel joining us, 9-man coach out of Howard, and he's on the football advisory committee for South Dakota High School's athletics. So that's good stuff. We'll review that. If you miss any parts of the Nate Brown Show, go to the podcast so we don't record stuff and play it back. Try and give you new content each time out. So search The Nate Brown Show wherever you get your podcast. We'll put that up there on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and then you can listen to the guests you want to hear from high school to college to the pros. Like Frank Schwab, he's in tonight. National NFL writer, YahooSports.com on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Frank, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Doing good, man. I got a lot for you. Let's run through it. I'm going to go with last night first. I know it's the Cowboys and Raiders. Are the Cowboys dead?
I think so. I mean, not technically. I guess there's some path for them when your offense is that good to rattle off a bunch of wins. But just because they did that against the Raiders doesn't mean much to me. We did the same thing when they beat the Commanders a few weeks ago in the late afternoon window. Everybody was like, oh, wow, the Cowboys are back. No, they just beat a bad Commanders team. I kind of feel the same way last night. Like, that told me more about the Raiders than it did about the Cowboys. But, look, the Cowboys, I think, are looking better. I think Quinn Williams they paid a lot, but he's a good player. He'll be a good addition for them. So not all is lost for the Cowboys. I'm not trying to pour cold water on everything. I'm just saying, like, realistically, I think that if they would have played a better team last night, the result might have been different.
Okay, I'm going to go to the NFC North. Are you a buyer now on the Bears for sure?
No, not at all. I'm actually really anti-Bears. I just, look, they have a -6 point differential. DVOA, which I think most people know by now, has them as the 25th best team in the NFL, so one of the bottom 10 teams in the NFL. They've caught a lot of luck in close games, and there's nothing wrong with if they don't make the playoffs this season. They got a lot of tough games coming up in a tough division. If they don't make the playoffs this season, I think it's totally fine. I think this is still a very, very positive season for the Bears. Ben Johnson has come in, and he's shown some good things. Caleb Williams is improving, I think. They've had a lot of young guys playing well. There would be nothing wrong with going, ending up 9-8 and missing the playoffs, which I think is probably going to happen for them. Maybe even 10-7, you miss it because of tiebreakers or whatever. I just think that right now that record is over their skis. They're not a 7-3 football team. But again, I'm not trying to say that they're terrible or anything like that. I just don't buy that they're first place in the NFC North type of level team.
Okay, so the Vikings are struggling. Yeah, I feel like the Vikings now are reeling. I was watching that. The Vikings get the lead late. They give up the kick return and the game-winning field goal, and it's over. So the Vikings almost came back after struggling and beating the Bears. But I was looking at Kevin O'Connell, and he was talking to Vikings fans on his radio show, and he's telling them, hey, we just need to have J.J. do this, get a little more comfortable, a little more repetitions. You think Kevin O'Connell is worried about J.J. McCarthy?
He's got to be. He's got, in an honest and he can't. What are you going to do? You cannot stand up there in press conference and air out your young quarterback after 5 starts. That'd be unprofessional. It'd be dumb for him in many ways. But I'm sure that he's looking at that film saying, these are passes every NFL starting quarterback needs to make. J.J. McCarthy was just missing. Just absolutely. And that's part of the reason, going back to the Bears, I thought the Vikings just gave him that game because McCarthy was just so bad until that last drive. I mean, the 2 interceptions he threw were miserable, and I like to think, hey, he's 5 games in. It took Sam Darnold more than 5 seasons to get right, to really come into his own. So I'm not trying to sit here and say there's absolutely no chance that J.J. McCarthy's a quality NFL starting quarterback down the road, but right now, he ain't it for them. He's not part of the solution, and this is a team, and it's unfortunate for J.J. McCarthy. Cam Ward goes to the Titans, and he's done even worse things in many ways. But everybody's like, it's okay because the Titans are in such a bad situation. The Vikings were 14-3 last year. They're not trying to, bring along and babysit basically a rookie quarterback. So I feel bad for McCarthy being in this pressure situation, and not many young guys are, but right now, he's just not helping them get to where they want to go.
YahooSports.com NFL writer Frank Schwab is on tonight, our guest on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline here on the Nate Brown Show. So it's Packers-Vikings this week. Who you got?
I think Packers. I just think that they're but I'll tell you something about the Packers. I keep waiting for that Packers team from weeks 1 and 2 to show up. Where is that team? You're sneaking by the Giants, who are on their 3rd quarterback of the season. Really? Just like they snuck by Arizona, and they didn't sneak by the Browns, and they didn't sneak by the Panthers. It's just been a weird season for the Packers. I know the talent is there. I have no questions that Matt LaFleur is the right coach, even though you're hearing a lot of stuff otherwise out of Wisconsin. But at some point, you would like to see them just go beat the heck out of somebody, and it just hasn't happened. And I can't sit here and exactly tell you why. They're a mystery this season to me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It was Packers, I don't know how good they are. Frank Schwab's on tonight. Find him on X at Yahoo Schwab. So let's go to the Denver game. I was there. I'd say it was the best Broncos game I've attended. Now, I only go to about 1 a year, but best Broncos game I've attended. I just felt like finally they get over the top because the Chiefs were desperate. The Broncos win again. They're winning all these close games. So people are saying, well, they're still lucky. They're still getting disrespected. You've respected the Broncos, so why are you in one corner and everyone else says they're lucky?
I think part of it is because in many ways, we get too focused on the offense. We see the offense struggling, and we say, this team, it's not very good. It's not very good. Is anybody paying attention when the defense is on the field? That defense might be the best in the NFL. No disrespect to Houston, who has a great defense too. The Broncos' defense is fantastic. That's keeping them in games. They have a Hall of Fame head coach who knows how to manage games at the end. That matters. Like when we were talking about the Chiefs last year, winning all the close games, something that kept getting brought up all the time was Andy Reid. Like when you have Andy Reid, you have an edge in close games that other teams don't have. Have the Broncos gotten a little bit lucky? Yes. I can also say, Nate, we've said this before, I'm going to say it again, the Broncos have 2 losses this season. No time left on the clock at the Indianapolis Colts, who are 8-2 right now. No time left on the clock at the Los Angeles Chargers, who are a playoff-level football team. Yeah. That's it. That's how close they are to being 11-0 right now. So, yes, you could sit here and say, they got lucky against the Giants. Well, they got unlucky against the Colts. I just think this is a very, very good football team. I think they're going to win the AFC West, and I was saying that before Sunday. I just think that we get too offensively focused a lot of times when we talk about the NFL. Like, we're talking about the Eagles not being any good. And if you watch the Eagles' defense the last 2 weeks, they held the Packers and the Lions to 16 total points. There's two sides of the ball here, and the Broncos' defense is absolutely positively elite. I'm not saying this is a 2015 team by any means, but I just think back to that team. That offense really struggled. That offense was bad at many times, but they won a championship that year because of their defense. And you can still win that way in the NFL, especially when you have an offense that's good enough to make the plays they need to make. 7 games left for the Chiefs. They're 5-5, and they make the playoffs. What percentage chance? I mean, all the models have them, the projection models that do the math, have them 60, 55%. And I have a little higher than that. As much as I've just talked about how great the Broncos are, I do think the Chiefs win in Arrowhead because the Chiefs at Arrowhead is going to be a desperate team when they have the rematch. I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Chargers. When you start to look at the Chiefs probably have to go 5-2 the rest of the way to get the 10 wins, and they haven't. Look, they're in tiebreaker trouble with the Chargers and the Jaguars too. But I think they do it because you look at they do have the Raiders coming up. They got the Titans coming up. The Colts, they play the Colts, but that's at home. They play the Chargers at home. They play the Broncos at home. There's not really a game on the Chiefs' schedule remaining where I say, they're not going to win that. I'm not saying they're going to go 7-0, but I do think 5-2 is doable. So I put them, not that I'm smarter than math machines, but I put them. I think it's probably 80% that they make the playoffs. There's a lot of teams like the Jaguars and Chargers, I think, that are going to really struggle down the stretch here because either the Jaguars aren't very good or the Chargers are really beat up. So I still think the Chiefs make the playoffs. Frank Schwab in tonight. Find him at yahoosports.com. Yahoo Schwab on Twitter, and here on the Nate Brown Show. As always, I appreciate you, Frank. Thanks. Absolutely, Nate. See ya. Frank Schwab tonight, national NFL writer on the Nate Brown Show. He's with yahoosports.com. That's good stuff. Hey, if you've answered our question of the day, great. If you haven't, free buffet. We're going to throw it up there tonight. A free buffet for a question of the day to the Pizza Ranch. Our great partners across South Dakota, the Pizza Ranch at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and the Brandon location. Locally owned and operated, great places. 2 locations in Rapid City, the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. And I'm going to give a free buffet on the Nate Brown Show tonight to a text line listener who gives me their best team in the AFC. That's our question of the day tonight. Who is your best team in the AFC right now? My Denver Broncos? You tell me. Give me your read. Don't troll me. Just give me your read. I'm giving you a free buffet. I'm going to pick out one listener on the text line for a free buffet to your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. 605-720-1067. Now you know the number. Text us tonight if you want a shot. We'll pull it out at the end of the show off the text line, 605-720-1067. Best team in the AFC right now is who? And I'll give you my top 5 AFC teams next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
It's the biggest savings event of the year. Menards, 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day. Save big money on everything you need for any project. We've got something for everyone. Homeowners, contractors, DIYers, the kids, and even grandma. Hurry, Menards 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day.
Save big money at Menards.
11% mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check. Good on future in-store purchases. See menards.com for details.
Hey, it's Nate Brown for Atomic Wings, 2 locations in Sioux Falls. You don't need to keep going to the mediocre wing places with too much breading and wings that don't have any meat. Atomic Wings is different. I know firsthand. Their boneless wings are made with fresh chicken right there. The best wings I've had. 15 unique flavors to choose from sweet to heat. Huge traditional wings, fresh boneless wings for game day, lunch, or dinner. 2 locations in Sioux Falls. Just order at atomicwings.com. atomicwings.com.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Life changes fast. Starting a business, getting married, buying a house, growing your family. Have you taken steps to protect your family's financial future? Don't let life insurance be the thing that slides. It can help your family during difficult times. Lee Cruz with New York Life Insurance Company can help you get started. He's local and will help you find the right policy to fit your needs and budget. You can Google Lee Cruz New York Life or call 605-360-8804. That's Lee Cruz New York Life. Protect your family.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
Hi, I'm Bill at Wire for USA. If you're looking for internet, TV, security systems, or cell booster systems, why would you look at a company that only gives you one choice for each of these systems? Wire for USA offers it all. Viasat, Hughes, CenturyLink, Dish TV, DirecTV, Wilson Cell Booster Systems, and now Starlink and Equistar Internet Systems. Starlink and Equistar are the newest, the fastest, and the strongest satellite internet made. No limit, no contract. Wire for USA has it. Call 605-341-5361. Whatever your home or business needs are, call Wire for USA for the products and the service. You don't need training wheels with our system. Connect to the future with Wire for USA at 605-341-5361. We are hometown, we are South Dakota, and we do appreciate your business. 605-341-5361. See us at our new location, 710 North La Crosse Street in Rapid City.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate you. Thanks for making this show possible. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We're live weekday afternoons on your afternoon drive. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is on Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates across the state, Fox Sports Rapid City, and also live right now, KWSN Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in. Wherever you're listening, we appreciate it. The Nate Brown Show, built by Blackburn Foundation Repair. They want you to know they do a lot of stuff, and it's really important stuff. Do you have your radon tested? Have you had it tested? This is a number 2 cause of lung cancer, especially common in South Dakota homes. It's a hidden hazard. That's Blackburn Foundation Repair. What about your structure, your base, your crawl space? They do all of this. Permanent fixes, okay? Certified team. They've been in South Dakota since 1992. I trust them. Blackburn Foundation Repair, from crawl space to clean air. They've got your back. Start at blackburnrepair.com. Don't mess around with your home and some of this important stuff. blackburnrepair.com to get it up to speed. Coming up this hour, great guest tonight. Brian Noe's going to join us from Las Vegas, Fox Sports Radio, host of Countdown to Kickoff. Noe's in on a Tuesday. Austin Hagen's on tonight. St. Thomas More, head football coach. He took over that Cavalier program. They went to the Dome a lot, 6 times, and now Austin Hagen gets them there in 11B, and the Cavaliers get over the top and win their first state title over Elk Point Jefferson. Austin Hagen coming up, the St. Thomas More head coach after the Cavalier football title. Your votes coming in, a lot of votes coming in. I asked you tonight for your best team in the AFC right now. You know I'm a Broncos fan. I'm a realist, right? You would say that. I'm a Broncos fan realist. I can criticize them. I can be objective. But I'm looking at them. I went to the game Sunday in Denver. It was absolutely outstanding. And they finally get over the top with the Chiefs. They're 9-2. They got a lead in the division. So I'm wondering, where are you going to put my Broncos? That's fine. Where are you going to put them? And then I thought, I'm gonna do this myself. Let's do the top 5 AFC teams right now, courtesy of the Nate Brown Show. That's what I'm going to do right now. And you tell me on the text line, who is your best team in the AFC? Let's run through some of the votes first. I'm going to give you my 5. I've got Denver Broncos. I've got Broncos. I've got Bills. I've got Patriots. I got another Bills. I got a Colts. I got Denver right now. I got another one. It makes me sick to say Denver. Let's see. I'll go with the Broncos. Let's see. Another one. Right now, it's probably the Patriots. So I'm counting those up. Those are on the text line. I'll get to more of those. Send them in if you can. I'll serve you up a free buffet at the Pizza Ranch, potentially, our local sponsor. Free buffet to the Pizza Ranch for one listener on the text line voting for the best team in the AFC right now. What are those vote on Twitter? Let's see the vote. I put the teams up there on Twitter, and I want to see who's people are voting for. Number 1 team of the AFC right now, 32% of the Twitter audience says the Bills. Have you seen their defense? I like the Bills. I'm a Josh Allen guy, big time. I had Josh Allen on the show. Do you know that? Josh is my boy. Their defense is dog biscuits. I mean, it's bad. But so the Bills, 32%. 23% vote for the Broncos. 25% vote for the Patriots. 21% the Colts. All right, let's do this. Let's not mess around anymore. Top 5 teams in the AFC from the Nate Brown Show, and you can bookmark this. November 18th. Top 5 teams in the AFC. Number 5, I guess. These guys aren't going to win big games, but I'll put them at number 5 because they got a good record. They should have lost to my Broncos. I mean, it was a goofy Sean Payton stupid thing, calling a rush play, and we bull over the center, the long snapper. I mean, it's stupid. The Colts, congrats. You're ranked number 5 because you barely beat my Broncos. You've won some games. You can run the ball a little bit. Okay, the Colts. Oh, you got Sauce Gardner. I'm scared. Colts, number 5. They're solid. Nothing special. Solid. Number 4, your Kansas City Chiefs. Huh? Well, they're 5-5. Hey, stop yourself. Don't look dumb. Stop. It's the stinking Chiefs. I know my Broncos just beat them. I was celebrating. I was there celebrating. You know what I saw? The Chiefs just walked out on the field and they thought, we'll see you boys again. Maybe in a bigger game, kind of like how we beat everybody in the playoffs. So don't mess around with the Chiefs. Don't look silly. Put them in your top 5, please. So they're number 4. Easy. Number 3, I'll go Patriots. Drake May looks pretty good. Vrabel's the real deal. I think he's brought the toughness back. Patriots, I don't want to go to New England in the playoffs. I know that. So Patriots, number 3. Number 2, dog biscuit defense, if they can ever get it figured out, because they got the best player, I think, right now in the NFL. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, number 2, because the Bills still 7-3, and they haven't had a good year. Little hiccup against the Dolphins, a little hiccup against the Pats. The Bills will be there. The team that's going to be tough in the playoffs. The Bills, number 2. And you just have to put my Denver Broncos at number 1. This is real. This isn't lucky anymore. This isn't just, flash in the pan. Elite defense. Winners. Character. Leadership. Sean Payton's tough. You may not like him. He gets his guys to play. He gets them to be tough. You may not like Sean Sparky, but he's got them going. And 2 close last-second plays away from being 11-0, and you're trying to tell me we're lucky? The Broncos could be 11-0. Elite defense wins in the playoffs. And if the Broncos get home field, look out, everybody. Look out. Tough to come into Denver. Might have to get myself tickets again. Boom! Broncos number 1.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people get into all kinds of vehicles.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Keep your cash and spend ours. Our Black Friday sale is back. Get 20% off our clean replacement windows and ensemble entry doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. You pay nothing until 2027. Plus, enjoy a Visa gift card for up to $2,000 as our gift to you. Hurry, this Black Friday event is only here till December 13th. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the 2nd leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush. Our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight, Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here. We had a Busy show here. We talked to Pat Rummel tonight, Howard head football coach and member of the Football Advisory Committee. Talked a lot of 9-man football and some of the discussions that are going to be happening in South Dakota high school football. Pat Rummel was good tonight. So, Frank Schwab moments ago, Yahoo Sports national NFL writer. If you missed some of these guests, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every guest is there. Every show's there on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Search The Nate Brown Show, and then you can find us on your favorite podcast platform. We're there. So, Austin Higgins coming up. St. Thomas More won the state football championship for the first time ever. Their head coach, Austin Higgins, on the way. Brian Noah's in on a Tuesday. I want to know if he feels bad. I went to Denver, and we celebrated the Broncos win over the Chiefs, and the Broncos are 9-2 and have the number 1 seed if the playoffs started. Brian Noe from Fox Sports Radio, countdown to kickoff. How do you feel about calling my Broncos Fugazi and Hobo Nicks now?
Well, I still stand by my words, Nate Brown, but I'll tell you what. I don't feel awful because of that. I feel awful because I put my life savings on the Vikings. Because you told me to do that. What happened there, Nate Brown? We both have some penance to do for the Black Hills here, buddy.
For the record, I hope I didn't say life savings, but I did say the Vikings. And for what it's worth, I took the Vikings as well, and I watched it in the stadium at Empower Field at Mile High. And the Vikings score, and I'm happy. I'm getting ready for the Broncos. I'm like, I'm going to win this thing. Wait a second. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. So let me stay with the Broncos. You have to think with their elite defense, with them 2 plays away from being 11-0, they lost last-second field goals to the Colts and Chargers. They could be 11-0, and you're still not there with the Broncos. So if you're not, who is the best team in the AFC? That's my question of the day for my audience. So I'm going to ask you, Brian, best team in the AFC today?
Best team in the AFC today, like as we're speaking right here, right now?
Yes.
I would put my money on the Patriots right now.
You would?
And some people would laugh at that because they have beaten they've been bum slayers, but when you go to Buffalo, win that game on the road, go to Tampa, win that game on the road, those are 2 quality wins. And Drake May is playing at a very high level. I like their defense a lot. So I think they're more than just bum slayers. I think that the Patriots, as we speak today, are probably the best team in the AFC, and some of that has to do with their path as well. They do have a decent shot to be the 1 seed, so it's also kind of projecting what's to come in the not-too-distant future as well.
Okay, so you went Patriots, and I'm having people vote for some Patriots. Most of my listeners, the winning vote total on the listener text line is Broncos. On my Twitter poll, it is the Bills. Are you a believer in the 7-3 Bills yet?
No. Well, that's the thing, man. In the AFC, it's like, who do you love? Right? I don't love any of these teams. All of them have drawbacks. Like right now, the Bills have no rush defense at all. You see Sean Tucker in Tampa run all over them. That's not going to work come playoff time. You can't just get gashed in the run game the way that they are. And if they don't win that division, they're a 5 seed at best, playing on the road probably 3 straight playoff games. That's a rough path with no rush defense. You're playing on the road. I don't like the Bills at all. But you can play that game with all these teams. I don't like your Broncos at all. And it drives me crazy when fanboys like you, Nate Brown, say, oh, we could be 11-0 if you look at the 2 losses. Look at the wins. My Lord, you barely won at Philly. And I give you credit. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You won that game on the road, but that easily could have gone against you. You barely beat the Jets in London. You had a miracle win against the Giants. You knocked C.J. Stroud out of the game. He's still knocked out. He's not going to play on Thursday night when I'm in Houston to watch that game, Nate Brown. I fault your Broncos for that. You barely beat the Raiders, scoring 10 points at home. You could easily have 5 losses right now. So spare me on the 11-0 talk.
Wow, that's tough take. Tough take right there. I just know we beat the Chiefs and the Eagles. That's not bad. Those 2 teams were in the Super Bowl. But let me see. I'm going to go with this discussion of the AFC. If you're not a believer in very many teams, I still put the Chiefs in my top 5. I've got them number 4. They're 5-5. People think, oh, these guys they could be dead.
Right?
I do not believe that. Where are the Chiefs really at for you?
Yeah, I think you got a good stance right there, Nate. And it's weird, right? Because they're close. They're close to putting it together and going on a run, and they still could do that. They have 7 games left in the regular season. It's weird because what's going wrong with the Chiefs is that they're committing these mistakes that their opponents are taking advantage of when it always used to be the other way, Nate. It always used to be the other way, where you'd watch playoff games and they'd play like the Texans. They'd host the Texans at home, and the Texans would have this stupid false start penalty in a big moment or a big turnover or just a stupid play, and you're like, the Chiefs wouldn't do that, you know? And now the Chiefs are doing those things. Where you look last week against your Broncos, it's a tie ball game. We're early in the second half, and Mahomes throws this ridiculous interception in the red zone, you know, close to the goal line. Denver picks it off, and it's like, you got to, at the very least, protect the field goal. That was a field goal game. And so it's weird stuff like that with the Chiefs where it traces back to the Super Bowl loss against the Eagles where they got off to a bad start, and the next thing you know, Mahomes is pressing. He threw a pick six, then he threw another ugly interception over the middle. He's just trying to make too much happen. He's a special quarterback. We all know that. But right now, he's committing some big mistakes, and the Chiefs are just – they're hurting themselves, and their opponents are taking advantage of it. But that's happened multiple times this season. You go back to the game against the Jags on Monday night. They took the lead. Looks like, all right, here we go. Chiefs going to win the game. And then they kicked the ball right out of bounds. Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville get it at the 40. You know, and they go down and score the winning touchdown. So it's just weird. It's like they're imposters. You know, the Chiefs they're hurting themselves. But if they can find a way to stop hurting themselves, they're incredibly talented. Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks still in the league. They have one of the best defenses this year in the league as well. So if they could just stop shooting themselves in the foot, I think they could really make some serious noise.
I'm a Broncos realist, and I still put the Chiefs as a definite playoff team. They are in my top 4. Let me go to this Bills deal here. Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns Sunday, 3 passing, 3 running. Is he the best player in the NFL now?
I mean, he's on the short list, right? Reigning MVP. He might be the top guy. It's weird, like when you look at Josh Allen, don't you feel like you have to pause just a little bit before you make that declaration? And it's like, really walk your way through that. What's causing you to pause like that? Some of it is his own play, right? You look at his numbers are good, 18 touchdowns, 7 picks. He's one of the top guys in terms of passer rating. We know what he brings to the table with his legs. Great leader. He doesn't have a who's who of wide receivers either, Nate. That's the really impressive thing with Josh Allen is you think about Matthew Stafford has been sensational this year, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But look at Matthew Stafford's weapons compared to Josh Allen's weapons, right? Like Stafford's throwing to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Who's the Puka and the Devontae on the Bills right now? It's just like spare parts that he's throwing to. So for Josh Allen to have the lack of wide receivers and the lack of talent offensively around him, for him to still be putting up the numbers that he does, it's very impressive. He might be the top guy, Nate, but I think what's holding me back is the lack of playoff success. And that's not all his fault. But the reason that we've been so comfortable saying Mahomes is the top guy is because he comes through in the postseason time and time again, with last year being one of the only exceptions, right? So when you have Super Bowl after Super Bowl for Mahomes, it's easy to say he's the top guy. When you have playoff loss after big defeat, after painful loss for Josh Allen, it's harder to say he's the top guy, but he very well might be right now.
Brian Noe is on tonight, and he is on Fox Sports Radio's Countdown to Kickoff every Sunday, getting ready for the biggest games across the country. Hey, how about this? Browns-Raiders. Boy, what a game. Browns-Raiders. Hey, it's Shedeur Sanders, his full debut. He got in last week, didn't play well. He's got a full game. Shedeur Sanders, and it looks like he's going to go. What happens with Shedeur and the Browns against the Raiders?
Man, I think we got to hop on this under, Nate. Who's scoring points in this game, man? It's 36.5, which is obscenely low for an NFL game. But how are the Raiders scoring on the Browns defense? How are the Browns with Shedeur going to be scoring points left and right against the Raiders? I just don't think anyone's scoring in this game. So I would have to fade Shedeur. I'm not one of these people that just hates on the guy for no good reason, Nate. I don't understand why he's so hated. I really don't. Like, the guy has some flash. He did the watch dance in college. People have lost their minds when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. I don't get the venom. I really don't. I just don't see how he's that hateable, but so many people do hate the guy. I just don't get it. But if you put all the emotion to the side, this is a guy who was 4 for 16 against the Ravens last week. He was brutal in the preseason, aside from the very first game. So, yeah, it's just been excuse city left and right for Shedeur. It's just, this is a different speed. He's in the NFL. Max Crosby's going to be licking his chops, you know. I just don't see it going well in his first start. So I would have to fade the Browns this week. It's just, it's not anything against Shedeur. It's just, he was a fourth-string quarterback this season. To think he's going to hit the ground running in the NFL, completely different level, totally different speed, it's going to take time to adjust. He's a very talented guy, and if he gets enough reps and enough seasoning, he might get there, but I don't think it happens in start one.
I don't know who could be the quarterback for the Browns and do much. I don't know if anybody could be. They've had 3 different guys in there, and it has not gone well. Shedeur might get a full game this week against the Raiders. Brian Noe is in full speed ahead. Fox Sports Radio. He came back on after throwing my Broncos under the bus, and we're sitting number 1, 9-2. Brian, I always appreciate you. We'll do it again, man. Thanks.
Always great hanging with you, Nate. Hey, real fast, were you watching on your phone the Vikings game, or did they have it on like a big screen in the stadium or something like that?
They put it on the big screen at the end so I could watch it. They put it on the stadium.
Very nice of them. That's cool, man. That's awesome. Well, hey, Nate, you have a great evening. Always great talking ball with you, and I'll catch you soon, buddy.
All right. I appreciate you. Brian Noe in tonight, Fox Sports Radio, host of Countdown to Kickoff. It's the best pregame show in the country. Fox Sports Radio's Countdown to Kickoff with Brian Noe. Yeah, so the Broncos, they put up games basically like red zone. So they'll put it up when teams are scoring, and so I watched the end of the Vikings game with you Vikings fans, and I got somewhat depressed. Very frustrating. How can you Vikings fans just continue to go about your day and smile here in South Dakota? That team is frustrating. My goodness. I can't believe you guys are so nice, you Minnesota nice Vikings fans. All right. High school football continues with our interviews after some state championships. St. Thomas More wins their first state football title. Their head coach is Austin Hagen. What did he think of this club going undefeated through 11B and winning a barn burner over Elk Point Jefferson? Austin Hagen joins us next.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Keep your cash and spend ours. Our Black Friday sale is back. Get 20% off our clean replacement windows and ensemble entry doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. You pay nothing until 2027. Plus, enjoy a Visa gift card for up to $2,000 as our gift to you. Hurry! This Black Friday event is only here till December 13th. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live every afternoon drive on Fox Sports Radio across the state. Appreciate our affiliates carrying the show. Fox Sports Rapid City and also on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in. Thanks for making this show possible. Hey, you can stream us on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. Remember that. Watch the show live. Welcome in studio. Follow us on Twitter at Nate Brown Show and watch us live. Well, I've covered a lot of St. Thomas More football over the years. A lot of football. Cavaliers have been to the Dome 6 times, and then they made it 7 times this year. Went undefeated, and they get over the top 48-38 over Elk Point Jefferson. That was a battle in the 11B title game. The head coach for the Cavaliers, Austin Hagen, state champs at St. Thomas More. He's on the Pizza Ranch studio hotline. Coach, welcome in. How are you?
Thanks for having me on. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate your time. Congrats on the title. I mean, it's a big deal. I don't know if people still understand that the work, the time, the commitment, the effort. I know a lot of the families, a lot of the players in the program, and all the commitment there, and you get over the top. So when that happened Friday, what was the immediate feeling for you? You played high school football. You've been around it. Your dad's a longtime coach. What did it feel like as the head coach winning a state title?
Hard to put into words, but just a full heart for the boys that, put in so much time and commitment to get to the Dome, and it started a long time ago for that senior group, and just for the, heartful for the community, for the staff, couple guys on staff that have been to the Dome 6 times, and they were 0-6, and to be able to get it done for those guys was just, it's surreal. Can't even put it into words. Just a blessing.
St. Thomas More wins their first state title in football. Their head coach, Austin Hagen, joins us tonight. 48-38, the final, Coach. So I'm going to ask you, did you think it was going to be a track meet like that? Did you think you were going to have to score a lot? EPJ has a really good ground game. Did you think you were going to have to put up numbers?
At first, as we started the game plan for them, I didn't think so. I thought it'd be a really big defensive battle that would kind of tame the two really high-scoring offensive teams. And then, I met with our defensive coordinator going over plans, and he said he was only about a score off on each side about where he thought it was going to be. And I've always trusted him, and he's been doing this for 50 years, so when he says it's going to be a high-scoring game, it probably is. And then that kind of reality set in. We're going to have to score some points to beat these guys.
Okay, so you played QB in high school. Quarterback. You got an assistant coach there, and Nick Wald. He's got records as a quarterback at St. Thomas More. His son is Noah, 15 of 17, 3 touchdowns, 203 yards. Sophomore QB. How hard is that to do?
We trust him so much, after we went to him last year and just saw what he was able to do as a freshman. And then he put in the time and work and effort to really progress from, last year to this year. And we expanded on our offense, and we were able to do that without any issues. And he's just a stud in everything he does. He's 4.0 student. He's a leader. Like you said, he's only a sophomore, but he leads just like he's been doing this his whole life. And the guys feed off that. He knows our offense inside and out, and all his coaches trust him, and he trusts us. And when you have the combination of those things and put the weapons around him, he can go out and do some pretty phenomenal things.
That was an unbelievable day for the St. Thomas More quarterback, Noah Wald. He had some good guys around him. He got it done on the ground a little bit. Big wide receiver. And Broden Sales had 3 TDs as well. Austin Hagan on tonight. St. Thomas More, your 11B state champs. That was a great game, a win over Elk Point Jefferson. So I was watching this game. See, you guys go up 14-0. I'm thinking, look out. I mean, this is unreal. Then I saw Elk Point Jefferson get it going. Big chunks of yards, huge chunks of yards. It was tough to stop them. Was it a game where you're watching going, whoever has this last, I think wins? Did you think it was getting that way?
Absolutely. We wanted to, all season we preached about starting fast, especially with the weapons and the guys we have. We have the ability to do that. And to be honest, I was quite shocked that they took the ball. Or that they didn't take the ball, and they gave us the opportunity to be on offense first. And I know if we won the toss, we were going to take the ball. And they're a very run-heavy team, but if you look at all their games and how fast they score and their tempo, it's really not that much different than a team that can spread it out and score pretty quick. So getting that lead right away was huge, and we just knew it was a matter of time of. They're going to get in a rhythm, they're going to get it going, and they're going to make their adjustments. They have a great staff, and they did those things. And, I thought, whoever has the ball last is probably going to win this football game.
Yeah, and essentially you guys did. There was a defensive stop. You got an interception from a D lineman. That was big. And then a turnover on downs for the Cavaliers kind of sealed the deal. But that led to this play. So this is the play everybody's talking about. You're only up 3. You're like at your own 10. Everybody thinks you're just going to kind of run a few plays. Let's run some clock. Let's try and win close. Halfback pass from Kane McLeod. He has some quarterback experience. Halfback pass, 90 yards on first down. Did you call that play? Where'd you come up with this?
So that was a combination of just this coaching staff working as a team. I think it was a media timeout, and we knew they were going to have 7-8 guys in the box, that they were going to flow and, try to stop the run, and our really good running back, he had left the game and with the injury, and my dad had come to me and had said, we got to do something different. If you watch us, we're a big zone team, inside zone or outside zone. Something misdirection, maybe a counter, trap, whatever. And with him, myself, and then Coach Speed, our pass game coordinator, we all kind of looked at each other and the wheels started to turn. Well, I called Greg Delotny over, our defensive coordinator, and I said, will you be mad if we throw the ball here? And he goes, not if it's the Kane special. That's the play we call it. The light bulb we're all on the same page, and we trusted the guys to go do that, and they went out and executed it.
It was essentially a halfback pass, and it goes for 90 yards, and it wins the game for the Cavaliers on Friday in the state championship, 48-38 for Austin Hagen, the head coach at St. Thomas More. Coach, that was big, and now you try and keep this program rolling. You're going to lose some key guys. You were big up front. You had some great leaders. There's some guys back now that you got QB back. You got some key guys back. What's this program look like? How do you build on the success?
Yeah, continue to do what got us to the point to, make it to the Dome after the semifinal loss last year. I think a lot of the players realized, the time and effort needed to be cranked up a notch and what it meant to be to really get the full team in the weight room and off-season workouts and things like that. And, the year before, that year before those seniors, we only had 3 of them, but they really laid a foundation. They were great leaders. They were selfless. And then, this group of seniors we have now got to learn from that, and it's just going to keep being passed down to the younger group. And like you said, we got a lot of, really good players coming back. We have a lot of really good players coming up. So if we continue to do the right things in the classroom, as a community, within, the program itself, just beyond football, we continue to be better than we were the day before, and all we can control, then we're going to continue to have success.
It was great to see St. Thomas More back at the Dome, and the Cavaliers bring a title to West River football. You can play some football, West River. I've said that. St. Thomas More puts it on the map, 48-38 over an undefeated Elk Point Jefferson team. Head coach Austin Hagen tonight. Coach, I appreciate you. Thanks for hopping in. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
I appreciate the time. Austin Hagen, St. Thomas More head football coach. They go undefeated and win their first ever state football title. It was a good team, balanced, really balanced. Pass, run, defensively, physical. Sometimes the STM teams haven't been as physical up front. They're solid, really solid. St. Thomas More with the one of the best wins of the Dome Championships on Friday by 10 over Elk Point Jefferson. Coming right back with Who's Hot and Who's Not next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterpark.com.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Imagine this, a bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank and Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
The new Mr. Liquor 2 at Rapid City is the only place in western South Dakota where you can order an ice-cold brew in their adjoining campfire bar and enjoy it while you shop. With holiday parties and dinners coming up, save big on all flavors of rum chata, now $20.99 for $7.50. Save $5 off your next bottle of Knob Creek Bourbon, just $29.99. Or pick up a $7.50 of Dr. McGillicuddy, only $13.49 for a $7.50. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores, off Catron next to Walmart, or on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy with fog early, tonight with a low of 39. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. A blend of clouds and sun, tomorrow high of 58. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, lows around 33. Mainly sunny skies and dry Thursday and Friday, low 50s, Thursday, upper 50s by Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 41.
Need tires? Danny Menno Toyota will match anyone's price on tires, plus give you 2-year road hazard coverage at no extra charge. And for a limited time, get a $100 instant discount, plus any available manufacturer's rebates on sets of 4 tires. Our experts help you get the right tires for your vehicle, and we match any price, give you 2 years of road hazard coverage, and up to a $100 instant discount. That's how we roll. See us at Danny Menno Toyota or justhowweroll.com.
Great news. I just got the State Farm personal price plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Let's do this. It's Who's Hot and Who's Not, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Also a location in Brandon. Stop by the Pizza Ranch. 2 locations in Rapid City, home of everyone's favorite buffet by far, the Pizza Ranch. Who's hot and who's not on the Nate Brown Show. In my Who's Hot category, Max Preps came out with their number 1 basketball team in the state. Number 1 boys basketball team in the state, Max Preps, it's West Central. How about in our Who's Not? Cam Scattaboo, Giants running back, went to Monday Night Raw last night after an injury. See you tomorrow.
Thanksgiving is the best. I love